Green 80. Green 80. Red Raiders set, go.
Happy Thursday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. I am Anthony Totri.
Here you are.
Joined on occasion by the deli man, Shane Dieffenbach.
It's me putting deli slices
Just
down.
throwing meats down.
Yeah. How much?
How much for what?
I was asking the person over the counter.
Oh, got you.
How much,
We
how
got
much they wanted.
Captain Redbeard behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Do
Ahoy.
us a favor. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. A lot to get into today. We are going to do a little bit of an adjustment of the show today. We've got Hot or Not at the tail end of today's show. I don't think we've done Hot or Not for a couple weeks now. We've got Heat Index, Fact or Cap. We've got our predictions. So grab a snack, grab a drink,
Ooh,
buckle up. We got a lot going on here for the next hour.
you big snack and like watch guy.
Big snack and watch guy.
Like, do you have to be watching something
Yes.
if you're eating?
Yes, I'm always on YouTube when I'm eating a meal.
Yeah.
100%. Will in the chat, deli and, beef. Love that.
Deli and beef would be
Deli
epic
and
too.
beef would be a lot. BC, go Sun Devils. Glenn in chat. Going to the ASU versus GCU game tonight.
So am I, Glenn.
Love that. Are you really?
Mhm.
That's awesome, guys. Make sure you
That's awesome.
tune in for the ASU basketball postgame show tonight, right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel.
Somebody told me that they are 5.5-point dogs.
Was it Mike Luke that told you that?
No,
Was it the books that told you that?
I know one of my friends.
Well, Mike Luke relayed that message to me that they are 5.5-point dogs.
Are they actually though?
I mean, that's 2 for 2 now. 2 individuals telling you that they're dogs would probably mean
They
that they're
are.
dogs.
5.5.
You
That's
hammering?
crazy.
You hammering?
Probably. That's wild.
That is a lot. That is based
I
off.
thought
They look good against.
let's be honest, it's probably going to be a home game for GCU.
Yeah.
Just because of their fan base. They don't got much going on.
No, they have nothing else going on
Um,
except this game.
Yeah.
Got to figure it out though. Got to get that dub. JJ in the chat wants you to say his name. Not
No,
his name
yeah.
specifically. You know whose name.
JJ, I had a dream about him last night. I had a dream that he was traded,
Yeah.
which is wild.
Traded in a fantasy football league.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
I
even
had a
crazier.
dream I made a deal with somebody that I sent BJ Freeman. There's his name, BJ Freeman. I sent BJ Freeman away for something. I don't know what I traded him for. I don't know. Whatever I got in return wasn't enough. I can tell you
Cashews
that much.
and stachios.
No.
No.
Those
You want
players-
to talk football now? Just for a tad?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk football. Look, Cam Skattebo returning to the backfield for Arizona State, coming back from a shoulder injury that obviously had him out against UCF. The Sun Devils were still able to find a way to move to 7-2, but it is time for Fact or Cap, brought to you by Branded Bills. Elevate your brand with Branded Bills, the perfect headwear and apparel. Make sure you use that code PHNX for 20% off your first order. Shane, I believe it's the first time that you've been a part of Fact or Cap.
It is. It is definitely the first time I've been a part of Factor Cap.
Well, last week it was Arizona State needs Cam Skattebo to beat UCF.
Well,
Fact or Cap. This week,
Where'd you guys fall on with that?
we both said that was Cap. That they didn't need him. It would be nice.
You were correct.
I'm interested, though, for you this week. Cam Skattebo is the key to an Arizona State victory. Fact or Cap.
That's tough.
It is a tough one.
Because I'm going to go with Cap because I can see the ASU winning in many different ways in
Really?
this game. Yeah, I can see them winning with their defense. We've seen Avery Johnson this year get flustered and have bad games. I forget which game early in the season, but he was just horrendous in that game. He's still, I mean, he's a young guy.
Was it the BYU game, maybe?
Might have been the BYU game. But ASU's defense can be the key to victory. I can see Sam Levitt taking over. We just saw Jordan Tyson be the key to an ASU victory. So I'm going to go with Cap only because if the door is locked and the victory is on the other side, you got a ton of keys that work.
Yeah.
Cam just might be your skeleton key. Can use him for any door.
I love that. Absolutely love it. I'm going to agree with you. I think that's Cap. I don't think Cam Skattebo is necessarily the key to an Arizona State victory. I'm going to do it for a different reason, though. I think Cam Skattebo obviously is going to be a big part to what Arizona State does on Saturday against Kansas State, but Kansas State has the #1 rushing defense in this conference right now. You saw UCF stifle Arizona State's run game. You've seen it a couple different times. Cincinnati, they had a good game plan to stop Cam Skattebo. Texas State as well. And Arizona State still managed to win a couple of those games where Scat didn't necessarily perform. Think back to that Texas State game. They loaded the box. They ensured that Cam Skattebo wasn't going to be the reason that they beat, that Arizona State beat Texas State. But you had guys like a Sam Levitt, like you mentioned earlier, kind of be able to take over the game. I think getting Scat back this week almost hurts Kansas State a little bit because you don't know how Kenny is going to utilize Cam coming back. Is he going to be a decoy? I could 100% see that. Which, again, it just is more for Kansas State's defense to have to worry about throughout the game.
A decoy for what?
Jordan Tyson, Sip, DeCarlos Brooks, any of those guys. Like Marcus Arroyo and Kenny Dillingham, I think this is going to be the week that they go real deep into the bag, because this is about the time last season. Now, it was obviously completely different circumstances where Arizona State was on the road against a ranked team. Nobody thought Arizona State had a chance. And that's when Kenny Dillingham pulled out the swinging gate and found a way to win a really gross game on the road against at what was a really, really good team. I wouldn't be shocked, honestly, if you saw a swinging gate formation this week.
I would.
You would be?
I would, because you remember Kenny's comments about because he's obviously sick of getting asked that. Do you remember last time he was asked about that? And he basically, his answer basically equated to, like, we didn't have personnel, so we had to get weird. Now we don't have, like that's not what I'm going to do every time. We had to get creative last year. Yeah. And now the personnel is, as we've seen, a lot better than people think or had thought at the start of the year. I don't think they need to get super creative. And look, I love when Kenny gets creative and gets weird, but you also want to save a lot of that for when you need it. And
but now you need it. I feel like
you might,
because
you might. You don't know if you do. You could play you could play your game. You could play ASU ball and just and pound with Scat and force a couple turnovers and make sure you play a clean game and you can win this game. I can totally see a path where you're doing that. Now, if they're in a dogfight in the fourth quarter, yeah, I could totally see Kenny trotting out like Caleb McCullough at tight end and just him leveling somebody. There's something weird. I could see it happening. CJ fight in the fullback.
Dude, give me that. Yeah,
the fight
give
back.
Me the fight pack.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I want the tush push, but with fight at quarterback. You disagree?
Well, I would rather have him pushing. Are you allowed to give somebody a piggyback ride?
No.
Okay.
No piggyback rides in football. Sorry.
What about like a pseudo piggyback ride?
What is a pseudo?
Like what if he tackles him forward?
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
I think you are.
You can't drag somebody into the end zone. You can push, you can't drag.
Well, yeah, he's behind him. He's jumping.
He's jumping him.
Anyway.
Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, let's get creative.
Who you think is going to be the key in this matchup for Arizona State to pull off the upset.
Everybody's flag football coach. I feel like you played flag football, right?
No, actually, I just went straight into Pop Warner. Just straight to Pop Warner.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, chat. You might relate to this. Everybody's flag football coach had a play. Like, I know if you were coaching a flag football team, you'd have a play.
I was coaching. I coached Pop Warner. I had some plays.
Yeah, like weird stuff.
Oh yeah,
like real weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like we had a play called Peanut Butter and Jelly.
You still remember this?
Yes, because the play was, I think it might have been from me. I think I was a tight end, where both receivers would do end arounds, and there would be a fake end around to both receivers. Like it was like a fake jet pass and then a fake
then we're throwing
reverse, and then I'm just going up the seam.
Yeah,
that was the play.
That's gross.
And it worked every time.
So you weren't a part of the end arounds?
No, I was the one getting the ball.
Yeah.
Give Shane the pill.
Was this a one route play? Were you the only guy running a route?
I think so, because it was 7-on-7. So
wow.
So you got two receivers, center, quarterback. Yeah.
Will in the chat says Baby Rhino at quarterback, fight at fullback, and Kangaika at running back.
We don't have Baby. Do we have a Baby Rhino touchdown?
No, I don't know if we have a Baby Rhino catch.
Do you think we're gonna get 10 on the pass?
No, I think Baby Rhino might have 2 catches. On
I was
the season,
right. I'm just gonna say I was right.
Was I big? Was I big?
Yes.
No, yeah. I was big baby Rhino guy. For those of you that don't know, baby Rhino is Marcuston Douglas.
And Totri saw his one touchdown.
I saw him. He's the size of the bookcase that we have over here playing tight end.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If that bookcase was out at receiver, do you think they'd be able to do anything?
Who?
The bookcase.
Well, this bookcase, I mean, it could move. It's hard to bring down, dude. It's a tough thing to tackle.
Okay.
Now, Chamon Metayer has been a very, very pleasant surprise at tight end, I think, this season.
He's been awesome.
He has been awesome. I think he's another guy that we didn't talk about that could be a key to this game. He has proved to be late in games or in clutch moments right before halftime. Chamon Metayer has been the guy outside of Jordan Tyson and Cam Skattebo.
One of my big factors for this game, if not the biggest factor, I think is going to be the deep ball or stopping the deep ball rather against Kansas State. Avery Johnson always has one big hitter. If you look at his long completions in the past, every single game except for 2, they've all been 40 yards plus. No, all games except for 1, and that was the BYU game where he just was a shell of himself.
Yeah.
He's hit a big completion of 42 plus yards every single game.
Jeez.
I know, pretty crazy. So you need to limit that, and I think ASU has been a little vulnerable to big plays at times, especially with the young guys. But they've been getting better. You talk about a secondary that has just outperformed and gotten better every week. I mean, even with injuries, this secondary has been. We knew it was going to be good, but specifically the outside corners.
Yeah,
Keith Abney has turned into a true.
He's a true one,
like CB1, true like lockdown corner. And Javen Robinson, excuse me, Javen Jacobs. Javon Robinson has been unbelievable at that 2 spot now, coming back from injury. Not to mention LaTerrence Welch's big game last game, and some of the other guys, and then the safeties. Obviously, we knew they were going to be good, but that secondary has been awesome, and it's good to see, not only because they're getting to the expectations that we thought. Everybody I think was really excited to see the secondary at the start of the year, but they're also progressing as fast as we thought. Last year in fall camp, you see these true freshmen. Montana Warren's going to get a ton of playing time because this room isn't really very deep. Keith Abney's going to get a ton of playing time because this room isn't too deep, and that has paid dividends for sure.
Yeah. And I think the craziest thing about when we're talking about the secondary as a whole right now, right, is it's been, one of the better groups, I think, so far for this Arizona State defense. Outside of the linebackers, I would say the linebackers have probably been the best spot for this Arizona State defense thus far.
Which every single show in the offseason, that's definitely going to be the weakest position.
Yeah. I was hammering I loved the linebackers. Yeah. I thought that people were not respecting them enough.
It was an unproven commodity. It was like, you're bringing in 2 like transfers that performed really well at their respective schools, but how is that going to translate? Plus, you lost a lot of talent especially in the last 2 years at that linebacker position. You're not really deep. You're still not a deep linebacking core.
No, you're not.
You got 3 really good players, but you're not very deep.
Yeah.
But they've been awesome.
The craziest thing though is kind of going back to my earlier point is that all these guys can pretty much come back next year. And again, the transfer portal is the transfer portal, and you'll see what happens in the next 4 weeks. Obviously with NIL and how the rest of the season shakes out. Keith Abney has eligibility to come back. Javen Robinson has eligibility to come back. Shamari Simmons does not. Xavier Alford technically could come back for an entire another season. Keyshawn Elliott's back. Jordan Crook is back. Cyrus Fiaseu is back. CJ Fight is back. Like, there are so many weapons and pieces to this Arizona State defense that has been one of the better units so far in the Big 12 this season that can come back next season and improve another year in the Big 12.
And as William points out in the chat, like, not only did you load up on freshmen 2 years ago, you loaded up on freshmen in that cornerback room this year.
Yeah.
There are so many guys that we have yet to see play even. And some guys we've seen spurts of, but not a ton. Again, I'm going to go back to Abney. Like, you think of what he was last year, he showed flashes, and then all of a sudden this year he's by far your best corner. Not only does he have eligibility next year, he's a true junior next year.
Yeah.
Like, he can come back another year after that. I wouldn't be shocked if he did. He's a little bit on the smaller side. That, like, I could totally see him staying in another year. Just depends on how well he performs next year. There's a lot of room for growth still in this cornerback room and then just in the secondary in general. Sherpas keeps talking about how my shirt looks like I fought a Teletubby or other things.
Wow.
And, I mean, it's fair.
I assume by what the outcome of your shirt, the Teletubby is no longer with us.
Yeah, I used hammers.
That's tough. That's tough. Is there any part of this game that makes you a little bit weary, at least not necessarily this game, but this matchup in general, where you're like, that's something that Kansas State either has or has done really well so far this season that maybe doesn't match up well against what Arizona State has shown over the first 9 games of the year?
Nothing that their team has. I mean, there are some things that their team has done that we can get into, but right now the biggest thing is the environment. Like, that's a very hostile environment that this young team is going to have to go into and play on. We've seen them have trouble with that in the past this year, so that's the number one for me. Like, you're going into like one of the most hostile, if not the most hostile environment in the Big 12. So yeah, that's one. 2, I'd say, Avery Johnson's legs. He it's not a thing that he needs to win games. I mean, we saw them blow out West Virginia when he had literally no attempts rushing, didn't get sacked once or anything. Like, but you've also seen games where he's gone 17 rushes for 110 yards against the school down south. So that's a big X factor that I would be looking at in terms of their offense.
Yeah, I think for me, and it's again goes back to this Kansas State defense, is we've seen Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham. They really like to they have their moments where they like to be aggressive, not even on 3rd down, but Kenny's not afraid to go for it on 4th down, especially in an environment like this, right? We saw it against Cincinnati a couple times, and it didn't pay off for Arizona State. If you choose to go for it on 4th down, really whatever the circumstances for Arizona State, Kansas State's got the 2nd best 4th down defense. They've allowed just 7 conversions on 20 attempts so far this season. They really, really find ways to get off the field when it matters most in big-time moments. And obviously, they're at home. The crowd is certainly going to play a role. So I think if you're Arizona State, not necessarily choosing whether or not to go for it on 4th down, but really, really emphasizing making it 3rd and manageable more than you've done so far this season, not necessarily taking giant chances on 1st and 10. Like, I don't think you need to overcomplicate the game plan against Kansas State. I think you get Cam back. I know there's people concerned about the shoulder sprain and the shoulder injury that he's been dealing with and only coming back after missing 1 game. But I think it's 1st and 10. You hand it to 4 and you just see what he can do, right? And from there, you really try and open up the offense, set up a 3rd and 5, set up a 3rd and 4. That way, you're not staring down the barrel of a 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 12, and then you have to go for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 3, whatever, because this Kansas State defense will make you pay if you opt to go for it and be aggressive in moments where you shouldn't be.
It's interesting because, you want to look at trends and like the blueprints of what's worked against Kansas State. And the only real thing that you see is, getting Avery Johnson flustered.
Yeah.
But you would think that a big reason why they would drop a game or be close in a game is because of their run defense not performing to the standard. I mean, they haven't given up over 900 yards on the ground this year. That's insane.
Yeah.
But that's
in the Big 12.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's not the case. You look at the games they lost, like against BYU, I think their leading rusher went for 75 yards.
Yeah.
You look at last week against Houston, their leading rusher went for like 70.
Yeah.
The close game they just played against Kansas 2 weeks ago, Jalen Daniels was the leading rusher. He didn't even reach 70. So that's not the case. They haven't been punched in the mouth on the ground. I don't know if it's even possible for them to get punched in the mouth. But if they were to get punched in the mouth by somebody, it's going to be Cam Skattebo. Yeah,
it's going to be.
It's going to be.
And it's one of those things where, and we've seen it, I think, more so against like a Texas Tech or like earlier on in the season where the run game maybe wasn't the prettiest in the first half, right? But there are certain running backs, Cam Skattebo being one of them, that they wear on you. You get to the 4th quarter and you have had to take hit after hit after hit from this guy.
That's why you see his 4th quarter rushing totals. Like,
it's silly. It's stupid. It's silly. Insert whatever adjective you want to. Like, Cam Skattebo is a force in the 4th quarter. He's the boogeyman when it comes to the 4th quarter because he has just been beating up on you for 2, 3, 4-yard gains. And that's why you see against Kansas, Utah, that those 45, 50-yard breakaway touchdowns that ultimately end up sealing the game for Arizona State, they happen.
Here's I don't like blanket statements, but I think this could be one that ends up being true. If Cam Skattebo goes into Manhattan, Kansas, rushes for 150 plus yards, which is something that nobody's even come close to. I don't know if anybody's even halved that yet this year. Maybe somebody had 77 against them. If he goes to Manhattan, Kansas, rushes for 150 plus yards, and they beat Kansas State, he's going to be a Heisman finalist.
You think?
Yeah, 100%.
I love that.
Like, you're one of the best teams in the Big 12.
Yeah.
You are one of the best teams in the country at that point. You're going to be top 25.
Yeah.
You might be.
You'll be top 25 coming back home where you haven't lost all year, going up against a undefeated BYU under, like, well, I was going to say under the lights, but a midday Big 12 showdown. Like,
and I know he missed the game, but still, like, I just you're talking about a guy who's carried this Arizona State team when they've needed him most.
Yeah.
Not when they don't need him to win, as we've seen, but when they've needed him most, he's put the team on his back. I mean, and
his shoulder,
and it's his bad one.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the ground game. Like, he's not strictly doing it on the ground. We've seen him break screens for 70+ yard touchdowns. We've seen him block.
Yeah.
We know what he can do in the special teams game. I mean, the guy's a great punter.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely think that if he goes for $150+ and they beat Kansas State in Manhattan, we're talking about a guy that's in the Heisman conversation, like, cemented.
I'm here for it. And one thing that, again, before we move on, people haven't necessarily talked about, again, people want to talk about the shoulder injury, whatever. He's got fresh legs. He had a week off, right? And he was trying to get in the game in the third quarter against UCF.
Coach, please let me play.
Like, this kid is ready. He's been thinking about this game for quite some time, and this is going to be his last trip, really, on to see a true Big 12 crowd on the road, because he's not getting that in Tucson by any means. No. But it is what it is, guys. That is Factor Cap. We are going to get to Heat Index 3 Arizona State Sun Devils that need to have big games to pull off that upset against Kansas State. We are going to get to it, but we're going to get to it on the other side of this break. Guys, nobody does it better than Cam Skattebo on the football field. That's why I like to equate him to our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, because nobody does it better than them, guys. You can visit any of their 4 locations: Wild Horse Pass, Bequiva, Santan Mountain, and experience the best that the Valley has to offer. I know Shane is a big casino guy.
I'm so immersed when I'm there.
I mean, you're a big game guy.
I love games.
And they have so many games.
They make the gaming tables more fun because they have, like, awesome. I don't know how they do it. I don't know what the technology is. I don't know if it's a projector. I don't know. But on the roulette tables, the number will light up when you hit. Oh, it's amazing.
Wow.
It's so fun.
It's incredible stuff, guys. They've got a ton of games. Go all in with over 4,500 slots and live table games, or you can catch all the action at any of their sports books. Go big and go home a winner. Also, be on the lookout. We're going to be hosting events there all year, including Cards and Suns watch parties. So definitely stay tuned for more info.
Got a Suns one on Sunday.
Let's go. Go out there. Go to Gila River Resorts Casinos, guys. Remember, you do you at Gila River Resorts Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for details.
Against the Timberwolves. You know what makes me go, being financially stable.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
And DFCU will help you do that. Desert Financial Credit Union is the official retail banking partner of Arizona State University. Look to Desert Financial for checking and savings accounts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and a whole lot more. And if you're an Arizona sports fan, there's no better place to do your banking than Desert Financial Credit Union. It's the only place you can show your team spirit every time you make a purchase with their exclusive debit cards branded with your favorite teams. Bring the boom. Get fired up with the Arizona State University Visa debit card today. Now is the time to show your ASU team spirit. Open a free checking account online and get $200 plus your choice of 3 Arizona State Visa debit cards. Go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started today.
You ready for Heat Index? I know you're a giant fan of this graphic.
How was that? Was that a good flame sound?
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Can you make a flame sound?
Kyle, make a flame sound.
Oh man.
That's tough.
Sorry for everybody with headphones in. That probably didn't sound very good. Yeah, Short Buzz brings it up. Scat would play the "'Tis but a flesh wound" Monty Python.
Oh yeah,
and still play. Short Buzz, I thought you said you were done.
Your shirt looks like the tears of U of A fans. Yeah. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Are they stain like that? Their tears stain?
I mean, maybe.
That's tough.
Okay, he said, okay, now I'm done. All right.
Look, I do want to get to Heat Index, where we give you guys 3 Arizona State Sun Devils that need to go out there and have a big game for ASU to pull off the upset on the road against Kansas State. And it's the man of the hour. It's the guy that we've been talking about. Got to start with Cam Skattebo. I don't think he's necessarily the key to an Arizona State victory, but I do think he has been the heartbeat for this Arizona State offense time and time again this season. When they need a first down, when they need a big play, you hand it to Fort and you see what he can do. This is a game where, like you mentioned, there haven't been a lot of running backs in the Big 12, or even in non-con, that were really able to move the needle against Kansas State's defense, their front seven. Cam Skattebo is not like a running back that Kansas State has seen thus far in 2024. I think he needs to go out there and have somewhat of a big game. I'm not saying he needs to have a $150 and 2 tutties.
That'd be nice.
But he needs to have a big game for Arizona State to come out on top.
Excuse me on my stat about the rushing. Maki Hughes, running back for Tulane, actually went for $129.
Oh, there you go.
Kansas State. But that was
the only
Tulane,
one.
So still stands. What did you say?
That's the only one that has gone over the century mark.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Scat's got to find a way. He does, like I said, I don't think he needs to go over 100, but you got to be able to
Ollie
have.
Gordon went for 76 when they played OK State.
How many carries?
Let me check. Hold on.
He's got to find a way. He's got to find a way, whether it's him or really any
15.
of the other running backs. How many? 15?
15.
It's not a lot.
Yep. Nobody else. That's crazy.
It is crazy. But you agree with me on that. Scat needs to have somewhat of a bigger impact in this game for the Sun Devils coming on top. Like he can't have a pedestrian game.
He's got. I think. Again, I'm blanket statementing. I'm just Dr. Blanket statement today. I think that if he goes for 75 plus, then you're feeling pretty good. And I even venture to say all purpose. You know what? No, I forget yards, touches. If he touches the ball 20 plus times, I think you're in a good spot offensively.
Yeah.
Even if he goes for 20 carries, 56 yards, or 15 carries, 56 yards, and then 5 receptions for 40, like you still have to tackle Cam Skattebo 20 times.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah, and that is another thing that opens up the offense for everybody, right? Because you start to take those hits time and time again. You don't want to hit anybody. You don't want to hit a 6'5" tight end, whether that be Chamon or Marcuston if he gets in the game, right? You don't want to hit a Jordan Tyson. You don't want to go with any of these guys. And Scat runs in such a different, unique style than anybody else on this roster. Like Scat, he can make you miss, but he's obviously known for being able to lower the shoulder and just take guys for a joyride.
Put people in the dirt.
Yeah, like it's what he does. And what doesn't get talked about enough is you try and tackle Cam Skattebo, and then you go and try and tackle a guy like Sam Levitt. They're you have to approach those differently. You have to break down differently. So you try and tackle Scat 20 times, and then you've got Sam Levitt on a 3rd and 2 scrambling around. Like that's very different.
Aside from Raleek, who, it's sadly we won't get to see him the rest of the year.
to the season.
But aside from him, the other 2 backs that have been getting touches don't really go down easy either.
No.
I mean, DeCarlos will bruise you, and we just saw what Kyson could do last week. Like, and you talk about the freshman Jason Brown Jr.
Yeah, probably not seeing him though the rest of the year.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you're set up for a backfield that is going to hurt you for years to come.
And Alt McCaskill.
Yeah, well, he's talking about a massive body that
6'1".
Run you over.
I love it. I do want to get to the next member of Heat Index. On the defensive side of the ball, Eric and I have talked a lot about Scat and Keyshawn Elliott missing last week's game, the best players on Arizona State's offense and defense. The Sun Devils return not only their best offensive player, but their best defensive player in Keyshawn Elliott back to that linebacker spot against
What a great
Kansas
win for
State.
Kenny and company.
A phenomenal win. This one would top it, though.
Yeah.
And being able to do it with Keyshawn Elliott. This guy has been an absolute menace for opposing offenses in the ground game, in coverage, coming up big on 3rd down. Now, we talked earlier in the show, obviously, about the linebacker rotation. You got a couple guys, Jordan Crooks, Iris Viaseyu, Caleb McCullough, that have all had really, really solid seasons that maybe you didn't necessarily expect. Coming into this season, you knew Keyshawn Elliott was going to have to be the guy at linebacker. He's been that. He's going to need to step up and do that again against really an offense that if they want to throw it, they'll throw it at you. They've got some ginormous tight ends. Kenny was talking about it on Monday. They'll run 13 personnel. They'll get gross. They'll run 14 personnel. So if you
know what I want to see more of?
Not 14 personnel.
I want to see some more 23 from ASU. Just 2 backs.
Just gross.
Get dirty.
Yeah, that's real
nasty.
dirty. That's in the mud kind of football.
You know what you do? You have Scat and it doesn't really matter. Scat and DeCarlos, Scat and Kyson on either side of Sam, and you hand it off to the person that isn't Scat and have Scat block. Just get really nasty.
That's using him as a decoy.
Yeah, I guess.
Pulling Marcuston on the other side.
Yeah, oh, no. What's been your favorite part about watching Keyshawn Elliott this year?
I think probably his command of the defense in just his first season in this system. I think everybody wants to talk, and rightfully so, about Xavier Alford, Shamari Simmons, guys that return to this defense, CJ Fight. Keyshawn Elliott, it's not an easy thing to do to start at linebacker for a Division I program that already has a system, right? Like he didn't come over here with the defensive coordinator. Some of these other guys have been here, and he hasn't missed a beat. He has hands down been the best defensive player for Arizona State so far this season. So I think just his command of the defense through 9 games. But again, he's going to have to be on his you-know-what, because he's got to deal with DJ Giddens. He's got to deal with Avery Johnson running the football. And then those tight ends leaking out as well. They're about 6'4", 6'5" apiece. That's not something that's easy to defend in coverage.
No, the scramble drills are really when things are going to break down. He's been especially good at that.
Yeah.
Keeping a spy on Avery or whatever, however they decided with contain, whatever they decided to do at the quarterback spot, he's going to be a big piece on making sure that blonde-haired bandit doesn't run crazy.
Bandit.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one.
Thanks. You're doing that thing again that you always used to do where I say something good and then you ruin it because you just stop the show. You pause it.
I'm giving you its moment.
You can give it its moment, but then you just stare at me like this. Blonde-haired bandit.
Yeah, well, I'm just enamored by what you say sometimes. You really, you just, I don't know. You spark my brain.
Spark your brain.
You spark my brain, buddy. Yeah, dude, I get it. I hear you. I see what you're doing. This one is the first time we've done this all season long.
Which is crazy.
It is. Kenny Dillingham on the Heat Index this week needs to call a symphony of a football game for Arizona State to get this done.
I don't know if I want him to. As I said,
excuse me.
No, as I said before, I don't know if I want him to have to call a symphony. Why don't we just do a song? Why don't we just do a single piece, a single number?
Because
the whole night. Just to say dun 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 dun.
But then Kansas State adjusts to that. They adjust to a simple tune.
What if they can't?
But they can. They're 7-2.
They just lost to Houston.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago they've had a bye week. You think they're not going to be ready for this team?
I know. I'm just saying. Ideal in a perfect world for me.
You're right. We're just playing.
I love to see just Sun Devil ball up and down the field.
Kansas State plays a good brand of Sun Devil ball.
Just boom, 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 boom. That's what it sounds like.
That's the simple tune.
That's what it sounds like.
Goodness gracious, yeah. Kyle, do you have what is the tune sound like?
He said no.
Not after what I did
not
earlier.
After the fire noise that you have to do.
Yeah.
Will in the chat, Totri getting hypnotized by Shane's words. Yeah, that and his pasty legs that he's got just out there.
Pasty. Excuse me. Excuse me.
You're right. They're not Rubus white. They're
okay. Mean. Second of all, I'm olive.
Olive? No, this table is olive. Is oak darker than olive?
Oh, wow. So this always happens to me. My left arm
is way whiter than your right arm.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. What's wrong with you?
It's the trail I hike on. I'm facing like the sun's hitting this more.
Have you thought about walking backwards?
Olive.
Doing the trail the other way?
That'd be crazy.
To get the tan on your other arm.
I could get some calf work.
But you are a big. Nobody sells your calves harder than you.
Can we talk about Kenny now?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think he needs to coach a symphony. I think you're going
to be like, I think he needs to walk backwards too.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what it takes, like I said at the start of the show, I wouldn't be shocked if you saw a swinging gate. I'm not saying you're running the swinging gate the entire season or the entire game, but there needs to be. You got to pull a couple rabbits out of your hat if you want to get this one done.
I don't think. Again, that's where I think you're losing me. I don't think they need to. I don't think they're going to need to. I think you might have to, but I don't think you need to. There might be a situation where you're going to have to. But looking at this game at the surface, I don't think you're going to need to do that to win. You just play your brand of football and hopefully it's enough to get it done. Yeah, you're going to have to do some different things probably, but I don't think you have to hit on a trick play, execute some weird double reverse Philly. I think
Philly.
I think you look at this game and ASU can totally win this game by just playing their brand of football.
I think that's fair. I love Will's answer. Mario Kart music is the tune that Kenny needs to concoct.
Yeah.
Simple but extremely effective, and nobody is ready for that third lap intensity.
Yeah, that third lap intensity is when you start not wanting to tackle Scat.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Any of the running
Scat's
backs.
like a blue shell.
There was I think it might have been Will in the chat earlier who was talking about that it was kind of sus that we didn't have any offensive linemen or defensive linemen in this week's Heat Index. Usually there has been at least one or the other. And you don't have to keep it to offensive line or defensive line, but I'm curious if there's anybody that didn't make this week's Heat Index that you do think needs to go out and have maybe a better game than they've had all season long, or just a big game. At the start of the week, I said Jake Smith might be a name to keep in mind.
Yeah. I think if I am gonna go one of the sides of the ball, I'm gonna go defense because I don't think the offensive line. First of all, I don't think the offensive line should ever be an X factor. Like just block. I know it's not that simple.
Just block.
But you know what I'm saying? Like an offensive line, it's good if you don't call out an offensive line.
Yeah.
Like they should go unnoticed. Like because they. Like you can give them props after the game, but you don't want to be recognizing that they're doing something either way. Like just block.
I mean, defensive line, I think maybe.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Defensive line, yes.
Offensive line's gross.
Well, you don't want an offensive lineman to be an X factor because that often means that they're just like, unless they're going up against a crazy matchup, that often means that they're sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
On the defensive side of the ball, this might seem a little counterintuitive because you almost want to keep Avery in the pocket. But I want a big game out of CJ Fight because that pressure up the middle, it depends on how ASU is going to plan to attack Avery Johnson. Like, are you just going to contain?
They're going to cut his hair.
Are you, or because if they plan to do that, if they plan to stay safe and don't try to go right at him, because I don't think that's the smartest case, especially with the personnel that ASU has on its edge. I think you play contain, and if CJ Fight has a good game, you push him out. No, you're pushing him right into
Smith or Dorba.
Right into Clayton Smith. So
are you keeping a spy?
Clayton Smith. That's a good X factor for this game. Clayton Smith, because if he does get out of the pocket, that's a guy who can chase him.
Want to throw a blanket statement out?
No.
By Clayton Smith?
No.
I think that's fair. Look, it is time to get in.
That is definitely the bullet bill, Will.
Oh my goodness, that is phenomenal. We're going to get into some predictions for this Arizona State Kansas State matchup. Guys, we are going to do it after the break, but I want everybody in the chat, drop your score predictions
and your X factor,
the comments, and your X factor, and we will get to our predictions on the other side of this break. Guys, I want to tell you to keep it tasty, Tempe. Okay? Because NUTRL, whether it is a post-game victory or a post-game therapy session, NUTRL is always there. And if you are somebody that loves seltzers, and honestly, if you're somebody that doesn't like seltzers, like me, usually, NUTRL will completely flip your idea and perception of seltzers upside down. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. It tastes phenomenal. And look, there might be a flavor that maybe you don't vibe with. Well, that's the best part about NUTRL is they've got so many different flavors. They've got a variety of flavors, including pineapple, watermelon, black cherry, orange, and so much more. Nothing goes better together than college football and a NUTRL vodka seltzer. NUTRL, keep it tasty, enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch NUTRL flavored vodka and carbonation, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you want to drive to Manhattan, there's going to be some Circle K's on the way, so make sure you stop there. But I wouldn't recommend the drive. That drive is pretty boring.
Have you made that drive?
No, but I've made a drive in that area before. There's not a ton of good stuff.
Oh yeah, you were on a bus.
I was on a bus. A lot of Circle K's on that bus. Not on the bus. That'd be awesome. I would have never left the bus. I'd still be there.
Ouch.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if there was a Circle K on a moving vehicle, would you ever leave it? No. Circle K is America's thirst shop, and it's also the best place to get a Froster, a Polar Pop, some nice little tasty...
Some snackies,
some energy drinks, whatever you need. Circle K's got it, including gas, especially good for filling up your tank when you're in the Inner Circle. And today you can join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com right now for more details. Fill you up. Circle K, get in your car.
There you go. Wow, that's a real throwback.
Yeah,
real throwback.
It's Thursday.
It is. It is a throwback Thursday. BC in the chat. Levitt, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
That would be something.
You willing to put anything on the line if Levitt goes for 300, 3 tutties? I'm just asking.
Hey, Shane, do you think you'd want to shave your entire body if Sam Levitt threw for 4 touchdowns?
What's wrong with that?
Hey Shane, do you think maybe you'd want to wax your mustache if Sam Levitt throws for 3 touchdowns?
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
No, it wasn't. No, it wouldn't.
400 yards, 4 touchdowns. You wax the stash.
Can I tell you guys a story real fast about the last time I shaved my mustache?
It's up to the chat, to be honest with you.
Okay, chat. just sit here in silence until everyone's bones.
True ASU Devil in the chat says 34-30 ASU, saying Scat is the X factor. Sharon says, I can't decide if my X factor is Sam Levitt or Scat. Probably Scat. To that, I say, why not both? Sharon in the chat,
There's
34.
There's no way he said it like that.
34-31 ASU is what Sharon's got. I will let you tell your story.
We'll let the chat say yes or no, and then we'll tell it on the other.
What if nobody responds to your question?
We'll tell it at the end of the show,
Okay.
if so.
That's fair.
Yep.
Do you want to get into predictions? We've done the heat index. We've talked about this matchup all week long. Arizona State's season is on the line. So was Kansas State. A loss pretty much eliminates either one of these teams from making the Big 12 title game at the end of the season. So how do you see this one shaking out?
What week is it? Week 10, week 11 in college football?
I don't know, because the whole bye week thing is weird.
Well, the ASU is playing their 10th game of the season.
Yes.
And what did you just say? This game would eliminate
them or Kansas State from the Big 12 title game.
Such a wild statement.
Yeah. Mind you, Arizona's been eliminated for 2 weeks now. Yeah.
Do you think they'll make a bowl game?
Arizona?
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not. That would require them to win out. They're probably going to miss Friday. They'll probably lose Friday's game. Mike Luke, I don't know if he has put this out there yet, but I'm going to totally rat him out on this. He has predicted that Houston wins 16-13 in just a gross.
I think they put it up on the
gross.
No, I think he said 16-12 because I think he says that they
4 field goals.
That Tyler Loop kicks 4 field goals.
He's got a leg on that guy.
He does.
He's got a leg.
Who's got a leg on that guy?
Mike does. Dylan in the chat, sorry if I missed it. Is Scat playing? Yes. Cam Skattebo is going to be playing Mario Kart on Saturday.
No, he's playing. He's playing in the football game.
He is playing in the football game. What's your score prediction? I'm gonna throw you out there first. Throw you out to the Wolves.
I believe I settled on 31-28. Yeah, ASU. Wow, 3-point victory for both of us.
Yeah.
I have always since said that the best football games in the world finish 31-28.
31-28.
Yep.
I feel like I've seen so many AFC divisional games.
Great games.
Great games.
Unbelievable
games. No, you're 100%
I
right.
don't know, Joe. Tony Romo says right before.
Oh my goodness! Right before telling you exactly what's going to happen.
Or I don't know, Jim.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Jim.
Yeah. There you go. That's a great Romo impression.
Thanks.
Last week, I think I predicted ASU to win 35. I was like 1 point off.
You were 1 point off both ways, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe I've got the script.
And what was your score prediction?
ASU wins on Saturday, 27-24, pretty much eliminating Kansas State from the Big 12 title.
What does Bet365 have as the total for this game? Because we both think it's going to be pretty high scoring.
Yeah. Can you throw that prediction graphic up? I just want to add that real quick. The math.
31-28 is 59.
50. I got 51. You have 59.
Yeah. The spread's 8, and the total is 50. So they think that in their world, Kansas State wins by 8, and the total is 50. I was going to do the math, but I can't do that right now. It would be 30-22. Nope, that's off. It's somewhere around there though.
It'd be
28 to 20. No, 29-21.
29-21. That would be a gross score.
That would be disgusting.
How do you get to 29? 3 touchdowns and no.
Well, hold on. That's too much for us.
You're right. That's a lot of math.
Let's not do this right now.
Oh no, wait, I got it.
There you go.
3 touchdowns.
Okay, 21.
A field goal.
And
2.
Well, see,
a field goal.
No,
Dang.
Yep, it's over.
That's
fine.
Tough.
It's fine.
That's tough.
No,
if anybody wants to do that math for us,
you know what it is. It's 3 touchdowns and an extra, or it's 4 touchdowns and you go for 2 and get it on one of them.
Oh yeah. Wow, we made that way more difficult.
But
than
it would
be.
That's weird. Why would you do that?
Why not? Maybe they just want to hit the spread. That's what they.
Or maybe they score on the first possession, and then they go for 2 immediately, and then they just score 3 more touchdowns. But that's not going to happen because ASU is going to win.
Will did the math.
Yeah, he probably did it really fast. And when we were trying to figure it out, he was like, "You guys are really dumb.
You guys are stupid idiots."
Yeah.
Guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Also, want to make sure everybody goes to the PHNX locker and gets himself an Activate the Valley t-shirt.
I'm activated right now.
Mine is ordered, and I am just waiting for it to get here. I mean, I'm always activated.
Yeah.
The moment Kenny was hired, I have been activated ever since then. The bamboo is growing. It's spawning everywhere at this point. It's spawning over the facilities.
That's wild.
It is crazy. The Activate the Valley t-shirt, it goes crazy. It goes stupid. Also, when you become a PHNX diehard, you're going to get a free t-shirt or hat every single year. So this is a perfect time to sign up. Go phnx.com, become a diehard, and then you can capitalize. Get your free shirt. It could be the Activate the Valley shirt, whether that be to sport it and rock it for the Arizona State Territorial Cup game. Maybe it gets here in time for the BYU matchup next week, or if you want to rock it for every single Arizona State basketball game, that is certainly a route you guys could take as well. Have you ordered yours, Mr.
Yeah,
I'm Activated?
Of course.
What about you, Captain Redbeard? You activated?
I'll get to it.
You'll get to it? Wow.
Wow.
I'll get
You're such
activated.
a fraud, dude.
Yeah.
Not my captain. That's
Oh,
what I'm going to say.
Captain, oh, Captain.
Oh, Captain what?
I said, oh, Captain, oh, Captain.
Oh, Captain, oh, Captain.
Not my captain.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Sharing in the chat. Maybe we could get our safety that we didn't get last time. That's what I'm saying. Me and Shane were fighting about that. Not really a fight. It was a mild conversation that we had.
And you ended up agreeing with me.
Did I?
Yeah. It wasn't a safety. I know what
You saw what I saw.
Well, no, I didn't see what you saw. I saw what I thought you saw.
What?
I saw what you thought you saw.
Say that one more time.
I saw what you thought you saw.
But I did see what I saw.
No, you didn't see what you saw, Seesaw. you think that they ran backwards into the end zone. He did not run backwards into the end zone.
I think he did.
He didn't. He started going backward, and then he was tackled before he got in the end zone.
Okay.
Seesaw me, Mom.
I mean, they still won. They did.
It doesn't matter.
I love seeing Kyle's reaction back here behind the Mac to the shenanigans that we have, because I think Kyle thinks that me and Eric sometimes go off the rails. I don't think has seen the full capability that you and I have to just go into a treasure chest and then never come out.
A trove of sort.
A trove? I've never heard of what's
a trove.
What's a trove?
Is it just no treasure trove is a thing? I don't know exactly what a trove is. Redbeard, you should know.
Yeah, you're
it sounds like something that'd be in a lagoon.
Are you a pirate, or you just sail?
Redbeard is a pirate.
Yeah, I know, but I kind of
Did you not see me at Halloween?
Oh yeah. Well,
a trove is a store of valuable or delightful things.
Okay, it's a store. Okay, so Redbeard, if you were
it's not a store.
He just said a store.
A store. The museum's trove of antique
treasure.
No,
but see, it's not a. Is it a store?
Oh, like you're storing things?
Yeah.
Storage?
Yeah.
So
not like a store.
So Kyle, if you were to plunder a bunch of treasure, you'd put it in your trove.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the treasure trove.
Treasure trove.
Eric in the chat, 31-27 Arizona State. Scat goes for $1.25 in Tyson and Metayer. Do they score, or do they
go for 80 and 40 respectively?
Oh, go for 80. Okay. I was like, what do they do? What exactly is happening? Sharing in the chat, I think 1 touchdown for Scat, 1 for Levitt, 2 for Tyson, and 1 touchdown for Kyson Brown, 1 missed extra point, no field goals. Wow, you must have the script, Sharon. She's got it.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Can we screenshot? Let's screenshot that comment just in case it does happen.
Was this how to get to 29? No, that's not. I don't know
so
what that
she
is.
has us going to 29?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Guys, again, hit that like button. We are going to get to hot or not. Again, we haven't done this segment in quite some time, so I'm super excited to get to it. But we are going to do it on the other side of this final break. Vroom, vroom, baby.
Watch this, ready?
Let's hear it. Wow. Is that your new... That's your new Ford from Sanderson Ford?
Yeah.
Guys, PHNX is proud to have Sanderson Ford as our official vehicle partner. It feels like it's been years since I had the luxury of spending a weekend in a 2024 Ford Bronco Big Ben Sport. It was, to this day, my favorite weekend that I've had so far in 2024. If you haven't been to Sanderson Ford, or if you are in the market for a new car, highly encourage you go check them out. Their 65-acre facility makes them the largest Ford dealership in the nation. They have a ton of different options for vehicles that you're bound to find one that suits your needs and gets you to where you want to be. Guys, Sanderson Ford is also America's most awarded Ford dealership for customer satisfaction. That definitely goes a long way. Get a new 2024 F-150 truck with 3.9 APR financing for 66 months, plus up to $4,000 cash back, similar savings on over 900 new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot. So don't miss a Sanderson Ford Black Friday thank you sale. OAC through Ford credit up to $4,000 cash back, requires trade-in of a 1995 or newer vehicle. Offers expire November 30th.
Yeah. You know what else is great and a great deal?
Tell me.
To our PHNX events. We got a ton coming up, and one of them that might interest you guys in the chat, and maybe some U of A trolls, is the Territorial Cup Takeover. Territorial Cup. On November 30th, presented by NUTRL and Branded Pills. The pregame meetup is at Bourbon Bent in Tucson. Food and drink are included in the package, and so is a game ticket. So make sure to go get your tickets. They're available right now at gophnx.com/events. Not only that, but we also have our winter pickleball tournament on December 14th at Chicken and Pickle in Glendale. The field has been doubled since the last one. with 48 teams this year.
Wow.
All skill levels welcome. So if you're not a pickleballer, that's okay.
Are you a pickleballer?
No, I wouldn't call myself a pickleballer. I'm a
Basketeer.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the equivalent, but it would sound weird.
Yeah. I mean, pickleballer sounds kind of weird.
I thought of a really good graphic that I pitched to the Suns, but I think we can use it on ASU as well.
Okay.
Just depends on who can make it faster.
I'm taking Kyle in that race.
Okay. The 3 basketeers.
Like the basketeers of the game?
No. Like,
oh, you're just saying like the 3 musketeers, like the 3 basketeers.
Yeah, but so like make like Santa and Quaintance and BJ Freeman if they have a good game, or whatever trio has a 3 game.
And do they have like a sword and like a fancy little hat?
It's like the 3 musketeers, but
Okay.
they're basketeers.
Okay.
Yep.
Also, that candy, not good.
You know what? It's funny. That was my favorite candy growing up as a kid. I know. It's kind of
That's
crazy.
kind of on brand though for you.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel-
It's on brand for Jebediah Beauregard.
God. The thing is about 3 Musketeers is it's like nougat, right? I think it's nougat.
I don't know.
What even is nougat? Kyle, what's a nougat?
Is it not just a nut?
Is it? I've literally got no idea what a nougat is.
Nougat.
I'm pretty sure it's nougat. Whatever it is, it's creamy and delicious, and I really like it.
I think it's more gooey.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a big fan of it, but it's not. See what I didn't like as much as a kid is a Snickers, which is crazy, because
Who are you?
I mean, no free ads, but like I don't know. I'm just like it's whatever.
Are you finding out what nougat means?
I have no idea.
You Googled it and you have no idea?
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
How do you spell that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Look, let's get to hot or not. Or actually, before we do that, I want to make sure everybody knows tonight we are going to have an Arizona State post-game show for the ASU GCU game.
I found it out.
Chicken Little will be back. He will be filling in for the deli man who is going to be actually at the game. Maybe you can call in tonight. Let us know the environment, the vibes. If you're
probably not.
Yeah, probably not. But maybe.
Nougat is a confection with sugar or honey that's cooked and then whipped with egg whites to aerate it. So it's just like a.
I mean, that sounds fire.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. We also
it's covered in chocolate. Why would you not like that?
I don't know. Three Musketeers is blah. There's
one.
so many better candies.
Okay.
Headspace tonight with Cole Martin, LaTerrence Welch coming in tonight. So
Thanks.
definitely make sure you tune into that. That is at 7 tonight. The ASU basketball game also going on at 7. We'll have the post game show right after that, right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. So definitely make sure that you guys are subscribed to that. You want to get into hot or not now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kyle. What do we got for the first topic?
Max Simpson, the great Max. Help me.
Max Simpson as the topic?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was like, that's crazy.
Hold on, let me finish that sentence. He helped me create this list.
So it's gonna be a bad list.
Well, we'll see. Hot or not, Christmas in November.
Not hot.
Well, technically,
You idiot.
settle down. Technically, so I'm a big. The day after Thanksgiving, I'm treeing hard.
The day after Thanksgiving. Though.
Yes, that's in November.
Yeah.
So that's what you do?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
But do you think it's acceptable?
I think people do it. I don't know if I like it. I think we just.
You're so awful.
Why can't we take just a couple days after? Why can't we just take a couple days to reset ourselves?
God forbid somebody loves something.
Why can't we just recenter ourselves after Thanksgiving, and then when December 1st hits, then we can be all fa la 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 and jolly. Right? Why do we? The moment that Black Friday starts,
I'll tell you why. Because it's like a gradient. They feed into each other very well. The vibes are very similar. Have
you ever heard of a weekend?
What the heck are you talking about?
Have you ever heard of a weekend?
Yes, I have heard of a weekend.
Okay, you got the work week.
I've had a couple of them.
You got the work week, and then the weekend, where you do nothing on the weekend.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Nothing happens.
Sure.
You let it go, you vibe, and you just chill.
Sure.
And then the next week starts, you get right back to work.
Sure.
Why can't we treat Thanksgiving and Christmas like that, where you got Thanksgiving,
because
boom, we got a couple days in the weekend, and then go.
I'll tell you why. Because work and fun are very different. They don't grade into each other. I mean, our work does because we have the best job ever, but most people don't. They sit at a desk, unfortunately, or they do something they don't enjoy. And the weekend is what they enjoy, so they don't intersect. It's a steep, it's a ladder, boom, right up to it. Christmas and Thanksgiving, I feel, are very similar in vibes, so they almost blend. They mesh together. They're almost one, and so that's why I think it's completely fine.
Have you been seeing a therapist?
settle down.
No. He's been
Thanksgiving is right after is totally fine. I think pre-November 15th is not hot. I'm gonna set like halfway through November.
So like November 1st hits.
Honestly, I'm okay with like a couple days before Thanksgiving, but like I would almost say that before Thanksgiving is not hot to put up a Christmas tree.
Yeah, I'm not hot. Not hot. You wait till December 1st.
I still think hot though, because as I said, like if you're just talking November, it's hot.
Chad Johnson in the chat, the great Chad Ochocinco, saying Friday after Thanksgiving. Will in the chat saying
literally the next day. Like
Christmas can start on the Monday after
off.
Thanksgiving. You can start decorating that weekend, but no earlier than Black Friday.
Okay, well,
sure. What's topic number 2, Captain Ruby? I'm still saying it's not hot.
But that's November.
I'm saying it's not hot.
Okay. Topic number 2, red beer.
Yeah, it's not hot. What do you think of that tree out there?
Oh, that big tree?
That's way too early.
Yeah.
But it's a cool tree.
Yeah.
Really? I feel like you like big trees. You're like
I do like big trees,
like a
but
big
that
tree
one's not
guy.
that good. Hold on.
It's not that way. It's not that way. Oh, no.
It is that way.
It is that way. You're right.
Go look at it real fast.
Go, sure. What's topic number 2, Captain?
Hallmark movies.
Ooh. That's an interesting one. I know where Shane's going to be on this, and I think we're going to disagree.
Really?
I think you're going to like Hallmark movies.
No.
No, you're anti-Hallmark?
Brother. I'm like very pretentious when it comes to my art. My creativeness. Hallmark movies are the least creative thing ever. Also,
yeah, but people love them.
Before we get into this, the tree is very mid. It looks like it's
mid tree.
It's a carbon copy tree. I bet there's billions of them everywhere. Not billions, thousands. There are thousands of that tree.
Probably
in places similar to this. Anyway, Hallmark movies are the same thing. Carbon copy, cut out, exact same way, like every single time. It's usually centered around a man and a woman that meet each other Christmas shopping or doing some Christmas activity, and then there's turmoil because the man is like has some weird vice or something, or is bad or has to live on the other side of the country, and then everything's happy.
Yeah,
and they
do
Christmas.
A lot of distance things.
Yep.
Will in the chat, cold, same script 150 times. Sharon saying not so very not.
That being said, I am big on comfort movies. Comfort, like things that guilty pleasures, like bad, like liking bad songs, like putting things on
liking
the back,
bad
like
songs,
like shows that aren't necessarily great shows, but you can watch them over and over and over again. I'm fine with having that on the background. If you're trying to just like watch one, like if you are not doing something else while watching a Hallmark movie, I'm gonna look at you sideways.
Yeah,
like that's kind of strange. Sorry, Mom, but like I can't get behind that. Like if I'm baking cookies and a Hallmark movie's in the background, I don't have to listen to the awful script and the bad acting. Sure,
okay,
sure.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna say not hot. I think Shane really he covered all the bases on that one. It's just mid. Yeah, no, nice job. What do you think, Captain Redbeard?
No,
not hot. All the same
Shane,
reasons.
Shane knows I'm a film snob.
Yeah.
So.
Are you?
Yeah.
I
went to film school.
He's a phenob.
Wow.
He's a flob.
A flob.
I don't like that.
Phenob. Yeah, he's a phenob.
What's our final topic?
This is Max's slippers. Hot or not?
That's a great topic.
Wait. Are we talking? Okay, so we're talking just like cozy slippers that you wear
Max
inside.
Here? Max.
You'll have to consult Max on the details.
Come here, because we're asking a question that you posed.
We're answering a question that you posed.
Yeah, we're doing that. Stop whining and get in here.
Here comes Max. Here comes Max. Here comes Max. Here comes Max.
So you posed slippers as a hot or not.
What type of slippers are we talking about?
Yeah, I need you to paint us a photo.
Come here. Hold up.
Wait, I can't show feet on here. I've been outlawed.
What?
What?
Slippers? Oh.
Yeah, so what are you talking about?
Slippers like the comfy type of slippers, kind of ones almost like
fuzzy slippers?
The fuzzy, cushy slippers.
That don't have like a heel on the back.
Yeah, those aren't slippers. Those are heels.
What? Nope, those aren't heels.
Yeah, slippers.
Back to your marketing chamber,
okay.
Max.
Do you think those are hot? Do you think slippers are hot?
Do I think slippers are hot? Only if you're wearing socks, yes.
What?
It's double
out. Back. Out. So I agree with Sharon. Slippers are hot. Fuzzy socks are hotter. Fuzzy socks are elite. So it depends on the slipper because like if you're talking about, see, this is why you need like clarification, because if you're talking about slippers you get like at a hotel that are just like crappy, flimsy, they're not hot,
cheap,
they're fine.
Yeah.
They get the job done. Like if I'm going, so we don't live in a place where slippers are necessary. Like if you live somewhere cold, you almost need slippers if you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night because the floor is so cold.
Yeah.
But we don't need that. I like slippers that are, what's the word? Like they got things on them, like they're like bunnies or stuff. Big fan of those.
Big fan of those.
I think they're really silly.
You strike
and fun.
me as a big bunny slipper kind of guy. Yeah, I like that. Really quick, before I give my answer, want to say if you are watching us on TV, we appreciate you. The fun continues over at gophnx.com. So definitely come join us over on that end. I am going to have to agree with you. I think it's there's kind of a balance. I don't know what Max was talking about in terms of like you have to wear socks with slippers. I think that's crazy.
I totally disagree because the whole point of slippers are you slip them on.
Yeah.
It's their ease of access.
And they're already comfortable.
That makes me so
They're
mad.
comfortable as is.
Screw you, Max.
They're comfortable as is. What do you think, Captain Redbeard?
Oh, super hot.
Super hot.
Socks or no socks?
You know
Hot.
what meme I really enjoy right now is the meme where someone's like, I'm so sleepy, and they're wearing like the typical nightgown and the hat with the little thing on it, and they're holding a candlestick. I love that. I love that meme.
That's where you are on the internet right now?
Yeah, that's where I am.
Before we get out of here, I just want to let everybody know that Shane and I have put aside our differences that we are going to have throughout the weekend for this show, because Shane and I are competing in a very, very heavyweight fight of sorts in fantasy football.
We're both last.
12th and 11th.
We're both tied for last in the fantasy football. But I will say we're both not out of the playoffs.
No, we're not. We're not.
So that's good. The winner is going to have a chance. The loser is definitely out of the playoffs. So not mathematically, but and
the loser is further in the race to go to Waffle House at the end of the year.
I think we all know is probably going to end up being Kevin. But
I think
weird things happen.
Yeah,
weird things happen. So
good luck this week, sir. I don't mean it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But good luck the rest of the way.
I hope all of your players get mild injuries.
Wow.
They're all fine next week.
I want to know, Captain Redbeard, just real quick, if you had to give a prediction for this matchup, who do you think comes out on top this week?
Shane.
Wow.
Even with my team that I have four starters on bye.
Oh,
wow.
I still think I win. Cedric Tillman's going to go first.
I'm giving you so many
my
clips.
Yes.
So many clips. So many clips. Sharon, yes, is Waffle House at stake? Yes. I don't want to have to run it back at Waffle House.
Oh my God, that's right.
I haven't had a waffle since that experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. Did you like waffles prior?
Yeah, they were fine.
Yeah.
I haven't had one. I haven't had that or a pancake. They were fine.
Fine.
They're fine. Ah, that was good. That was good, guys. That is going to do it for today. Oh, you got something else?
Yeah, I want to tell my story.
Oh yeah.
So
hold on.
I've had a mustache since mid college. So it's been about 6 years.
Yeah. So I first met you, you had a stash.
Yeah. I think I was the infancy of it. I've only fully shaved it. I've fully shaved it a couple times for different events, but actually I think I've only shaved it twice. And one was for just a refresh. I haven't shaved it in 4 years, maybe fully, and trim it and whatnot. But the only time I've ever fully shaved it was one night. I've gotten drunk and forgot some things before, where's my phone or my keys? Oh, I'm so stupid. Why did I say that? I've woken up without things before, but never have I woken up, except for this night, without a mustache. I woke up in the morning and I don't remember some of the part of the night.
So you blacked out.
I don't remember some part of the night.
So you browned out.
And I don't remember some part of the night. And I woke up and I looked at myself and I didn't have a mustache. And I was like, excuse me? Where did it go?
Who took my mustache?
Where did it go?
Wow.
Yep.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
You're trying to do that again this weekend?
No, absolutely
we're not trying to do that. Glenn in the chat saying no scat today. Nope. Cam Skattebo, again, some scheduling conflicts. We are going to work in the future. Definitely to get Scat back on the show.
The good news is you don't get them less.
No, we are still going to have him. We're still going to have him three more times throughout the rest of the season. Yeah. So definitely look forward to all of that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. And if you enjoyed the content, give the show a follow at PHNX Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You could follow the man behind the mat, Captain Redbeard, at KCoop Sports. You can follow this guy, the deli man who...
I didn't really explain what happened. My mustache. I just said I woke up without it.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I just completely missed the point of the story. So I think it was at this somebody's apartment, and I shaved it for a girl that night because she didn't like it.
Wow.
And she didn't tell me to shave it, but she said she didn't like it, and I shaved it in her bathroom.
That's crazy.
It is insane. Like without her even knowing. It's like just came out. I didn't have it. Apparently, allegedly.
Do you like it now? It's gone.
It's gone.
You can follow the man with a stash sometimes. At Shane Dief.
Not doing things to appease others as always.
And
anymore.
we will see you guys tonight for an Arizona
TTFN.
State GCU basketball.
If you're at football,
postgame
come say
show.
hi. DM me.
In the meantime, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.